Next is Mississippi State head coach Rick Stansbury. The Bulldogs are 19-10 overall and 6-8 in the SEC. Wednesday they travel to South Carolina. That's at 7 Central on the SEC Network. Saturday they host Arkansas. That's at 4 Central on FSN. To ask a question of Coach Stansbury, press *1 now. Coach, while we wait on questions, could you give us a few comments on your team entering this week's games?
Well, naturally, we're not entering it the way you want to enter it, coming off of another loss. So anytime you go on the road, it's never easy. And, South Carolina's I know the record doesn't show it, but, they really competed and they played well against the people, just hadn't closed out some games. So we know we have them on senior night, so that'll be a difficult challenge. Then come back home against a good Arkansas team. We just got a road win at Auburn. So, as always, another challenging week.
Okay, our first question is from Brad Locke of the Northeast Mississippi Daily Journal.
Morning, Rick.
Morning, Brad.
Darren Horn earlier here on the teleconference said he just sees two teams, his and yours, desperate for a win. Do you sense any desperation among the guys just to get back in that win column?
Well, Brad, I think it's very obvious. We've got a tough stretch here, and we got to find a way to get a win. That's just where it is. You can sugarcoat it any way you want to, but we got to find a way to go here in South Carolina. Get back on a winning track.
When you look at your NCAA resume, I don't know how close you've looked at that, but obviously you're right on the bubble there. I mean, what do you think? If you want to pitch your team as an NCAA team, what do you tell somebody?
Well, Brad, I've always been one. You win enough, you'll get in. If you don't, you don't. I've been all over that bubble several different times, and winning cures everything. So, not even have this conversation. A way not to have it is you got to go win games, and that's what we got to do right now. Win games, Brad.
Thanks.
Yep.
Our next question is from David Pascal of the Chattanooga Times Free Press.
Hey, Coach, just wanted to ask you about Alabama and what was different about playing them this time around. Where did they improve since you played them more than a month ago?
Well, naturally getting Greenback helped them, but they had them here the first time. They're different. They jumped up and made some shots this time. I know in the second half, that's what separates. I think it's even, but I know they go 5 for 7 from the three-point line in the second half. Cooper made a couple, and Randolph made a couple. And, that's primarily the difference right there is ability. They're making some perimeter shots. And when you struggle to score, that makes the world go around when you can do that.
And then when you look at what Alabama's gone through this year, I mean, obviously you had a season last season that had as many off-the-court headlines as on the court. I mean, how difficult is that in season, and how much do you appreciate the job that Anthony seems to have done kind of getting them out of the woods when it comes to that?
They steadied the ship. I think he went 2-2 in that stretch there. And, he had some other kids that stepped up and gained valuable experience. Through those experiences, it's helped your team, and it helped your team in the long run. Anytime you can, ride that ship right and while you're without some guys and get them back, it only makes you better, and that's kind of what they've done.
Thank you.
Yep.
Questions from Jerry Tipton of the Lexington Herald-Leader.
Rick, I'm wondering if you can refresh my memory on exactly what Rodney Hood's injury is and when you can expect him back.
I don't know if I know the exact medical terminology for it. Bruised bones. Basically, what we're saying is left knee. When I get him back, not for sure, Jerry. It's totally up in the air. It's very obvious. We didn't have him against Alabama again, and I think he's very doubtful Wednesday night. So that's kind of all I know, Jerry, at this point. And only time will tell when we do get him back.
Are you expecting him back though at some point?
I would hope so,
mm-hmm.
But you're down to a few games here now. It's getting closer, so it just when do you get him back and when is he able to go full speed and all that? I just don't know. He's just now starting to walk a little bit without a limp, so. No on-court stuff yet at all. So when you start trying to run and jump, what's that do to it? So that's kind kind of where we're at, and only time's going to tell with it. Jerry?
Thanks.
Our next question is from Ron Higgins of the Memphis Commercial Appeal.
How are you?
On there, Ron.
Earlier talked about being on the bubble at this point. Are you surprised that you're on the bubble at this point?
Well, whenever you don't win some games in a row, Ron, that's kind of what you can get there in a hurry now, and that's kind of what we've done. You know, we've lost 5 in a row, and again, like I say, sometimes, and I don't think we've played bad. Scheduling has a little bit to do with it. 3 of those 4 were on the road, and one of your home games against Kentucky. I think we've had one bad loss that really haunts you is the Georgia home loss. And 2 of those losses have been in overtime. So, and then you lose a Rodney Hood second half against Kentucky and don't have him in Alabama. It's not my team hasn't played good. You know, it's just we haven't played well enough to win those tight games that you got to win. And when you lose something in a row, you know, you're going to slip. So, only way to solve that is win games, Ron.
Our next question is from Mike Herndon of the Mobile Press Register.
Morning, Coach. To kind of piggyback on the last question, is there any particular facet to the game during this losing streak that you feel you haven't done as well, or any one key area that maybe you'd been doing well when you won 5 or 6 that didn't happen in now?
You know, as I back up on it all, you know, the Georgia games, I said that and you can't make excuses, and we're not going to make excuses. You get them on a Saturday noon after a Thursday night late emotional game against Ole Miss, and we just weren't at our best. And Georgia really played well, and, you know, as you can see what they're capable of doing. And we had our opportunities there to close out. You know, late in the game, missed a free throw, and they get a defensive stop. Then you go on the next road game at LSU, and, you know, basically play great. You know, the first half, having done 17-9 at halftime, and again, late in the game, just don't make a play or stop. You know, Kentucky game, that's well documented. Couldn't play any better. You know, the one term you play in that one is you lose Rodney Hood. Just don't allow you to function as well. We don't have the depth and don't function as well. And kind of the same way in Alabama. I thought the first half we had them at bay, and but you know, when you take another guy out of that perimeter that's capable of making shots and a guy that's played that position for you for 38 minutes, it changes everything up some. It leaves your margin for error then absolutely none. So to answer your question, one certain thing, I don't know if it's just one certain thing. There's been some things throughout the games. That we just seem to have trouble holding those big leads, and you know, some of it's, you know, for reasons maybe lack of depth, and I don't think there's any particular things consistently that's kept us from doing it, just kind of a little of all of it.
Hey, Coach, we appreciate your time this morning.